And hello, all my cruising and travel friends. It's Rob here with Cruising on the High Seas and Travel. And in today's live stream, we are diving all the way into talking about whatever may pop on up, as this is the monthly open live stream. Yes, we have a monthly open live stream once a month. Typically, it's every third Saturday of the month. So it happens to be the third Saturday of the month. So let's do our open live stream. In the background, as you can see, Max is chillaxing on the bed. So he's here enjoying the view of the show with us. And let's dive on in and talk about whatever may pop up. But in the meantime, while we are waiting for more guests to come into the chat, pop up on the live stream, we got some stuff lined up here for you to talk about while we are waiting for all that fun jazz. So like I said, my name is Rob with Cruising on the High Seas and Travel. And in today's, we're diving into talking about any questions that you want to know. And you can ask them as you want. But the first one that I came up here with today is talking about lucky at sea. Have you ever had a good or bad lucky on a cruise? Now, when we are talking about lucky at sea, it could be anything in general format. So there are many things that I've been lucky at sea for. It could have been ranging all the way from a stateroom upgrade, which I have never got a stateroom upgrade yet, to excellent service, to whatever it may happen to be. So I've had a couple of good lucky and a good lucky sea days too. I've had where I could just sit back, chillax, and enjoy. But I do see that we do have someone into the chat, Mr. Anthony on the move. Welcome on in. And if you like, you are more than welcome to click on that link just above in the chat and join us up here on the panel. And I'm not quite too sure how long this live stream will run today, but the more interaction we get here on the channel, the more we will stay live. Sliding on in is Mr. Dewey. Good evening, everyone, and all. Hello, and hopefully we will be able to get you up here on the panel. Just click on the link and we will bring you right on up. Excuse me. So there's been many things I've been lucky at and on board and different as those. But when we have guests up here, we can always slide on back to this one and see what they have to say. Moving on forwards to the next one, the buffet versus dining room. Which wins? To me, the main dining room will always win. Yes, I like the buffet, but the dining room, it just wins. I like being what we like called pampered on. And the reason why I say pampered on is because I like the stuff being brought to me. And I can take a little bit this and a little bit that. Same on the buffet, you can do a little bit this and a little bit that, but I can say I want this, but I can maybe customize instead of the fries. Can I have onion rings or can I have a salad? I can customize it. Or just say just the sandwich is good. So I'm not taking more. Plus also, I don't have to go find a seat. Once I have my food in my hand, I already got my seat. The food's coming to me. So to me, that's why the main dining room wins. not only because of the dinner time, but you can also sometimes get into the main dining room for breakfast and for lunch, depending upon if they are open. But they were always open for the dinner time. And typically they are open for breakfast in the morning. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not for lunch. It depends upon if it's a port day or a sea day. Sea days, they are typically open for all three meals. But let's just crank that down a little bit so we have no echoes going on. But we're going to dive back over into the chat. And we are going to remember where I left off. Right here. Anthony on the Move is saying thanks. He's saying thanks. I'm in Waffle House about to eat a sandwich. Ooh, sounds very delicious. And we'll have to try and find that Waffle House when I'm down that way, Mr. Anthony on the Move. And I do see we have Mr. Ryan PK Adventures down below. Give me a big thumbs up if you're ready to rock and roll. And he's ready to rock and roll. So let's bring him on in.
What's up,
Mr. Ryan? And how are you doing here tonight?
Oh, I'm tired.
You're tired. And
Yeah.
we're just going to finish running through this chat. Anthony's saying hello to Dewey. Dewey is talking about MDR always. I know what you're talking about, the MDR. MDR or buffet, Ryan?
If I had to choose between MDR and buffet, it would be MDR.
And Dewey is agreeing with my statement. Agreed, I'm always about being served.
Yep.
Yep. Because I call it being pampered. That's
Most
what I call it.
definitely.
Because then I'm not fighting to find a seat once I got my food. And then Dewey is okay. We can't forget about Mr. Nightbot. Welcome in, Mr. Nightbot. And he's advertising my shop. So if you want some swag, please click on that link and you can get yourself some cruising on the high seas and travel swag. Dewey's talking about I cook for myself and serve myself all the time. So love to have someone do it for me. Absolutely, I agree. And of course, we're on the road to 2,000, and we're only 369 away. Let's get us there by May 31st. I believe we can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it. And of course, Mr. Nightbot is also promoting Justin's 40th birthday cruise from April 3rd to the 10th, 2027 on Manor of the Seas from New Orleans. Book now, and you can reach me at robwithcruisebrothers@gmail.com if you need assistance to be booked. And of course, Nightbot is promoting Please Do Not Drink and Drive. Arrive alive.
That's right. Hey, Anthony on the Move. How's it going tonight?
Anthony, says, what up to Ryan?
I'm just tired because this last week I was changing positions at work, moving into a new role. And so half my days were trying to pass on projects and things I was doing with my old role, as well as trying to get stuff set up for the new role. And both were just slammed with file work and stuff like that. I was about to pull my hair out. And then today we were touring the Carnival Port. I don't have a lot of hair to pull out right now. But then we were touring the Paradise this morning, and I'm gonna turn around and tour the Miracle tomorrow. So it's been busy. It's been busy, to say the least.
No, Dewey, it does not say nothing about drinking and chatting. I think we're safe with drinking and chatting.
You have a drunk Rob at that point, then.
But then you got drunk Rob. So, and if you haven't met drunk Rob, you should meet drunk Rob. And I have a
Well,
feeling.
we would have, but drunk Rob had to choose a better deal on NCL to get more points for loyalty. But hey, I would have done the same thing.
But you do know where I do know where drunk Rob will definitely be in April of 27.
I do.
Where will he be?
He will be on Justin's birthday cruise.
He will be on Justin's birthday cruise, sailing April 3rd to the 10th, 2027 on Mariner of the Seas. And once again, that's his information.
Mariner's a good ship. I've only been on it for like a very, very short cruise. I literally booked the Mariner for a 2-day cruise because I needed 2 more points to be Diamond on Royal before the World America cruise in October of 2024. So we literally got on the ship.
No, Dewey. I may be driving the show, but I'm stable, so you know. But I like your thinking. I do. You were saying, Ryan?
Oh, no, I was just saying that I don't know. What was I saying? I don't know.
I don't know.
We just where I was just I don't know, jabber jawing.
Yeah. And we're gonna dive Dewey is saying you, Stable, I don't know this was Combi Nights. No, it's an open mic night, Dewey. Come on up. Come on. I know you got the link. And if not, it's like it's right up there. Just click the link.
You can do it.
You can do it. But we're gonna dive back into the questions, and I came up with Lucky at Sea. Have you ever had good or bad luck on a cruise? Ryan.
No, I've never had anything where I can be like, oh my God, this was amazing. Good luck that this happened. But I've never had anything that's been, oh my God, such bad luck. Everything in the world's going wrong. So, especially in the casino. I've won some, I've lost some, but I've never hit it big and I've never lost big. So I guess I'm 50-50 when it comes to luck at sea. Mediocre. I have mediocre luck at sea.
The only bad luck on a cruise, but really I wasn't on the cruise yet, was the trip that we don't talk about. And it being like American Airlines.
I didn't hear that. No one heard that.
Well, once again, it is American Airlines. Because, just something about that airline, I don't think they like me.
No, they're like, Rob's coming? Let's lose this bag. Let's delay this. Let's cancel this.
But I do see we have another guest down below, Mr. Dewey. If you're ready to rock, lead on the sign.
Put up a sign.
I'll put up the sign. Hello, Mr. Dewey, and how are you doing here tonight?
Testing
are you there, Dewey?
Testing 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Well, I can't seem to find the app on my screen all of a sudden.
We can hear you.
Well, at least then we know it's working. I just don't know where it went.
Huh?
Gotta love it when it minimizes or hides behind other screens.
Yeah, and it's not showing up in my taskbar as something that's open. So it's like, okay. Who knows? Anyway, at least you can see me and hear me. So
Yep.
I can hear you guys. They just can't. I have to watch it on YouTube to see what's going on. even though it's delayed.
Yeah, and Dewey's saying I've had much better luck on a cruise than land.
Yeah, ships have been much kinder to me than the land-based casinos have been.
Yes, sirree. And then
I've had a number of cruises where I've won over $1,000, and some where I paid for the cruise, some where I won a free cruise. Can't say that on the land.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? You're on land and you win a free cruise.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. But it's probably wishful thinking.
Yeah, the one casino I like to go to the most often will often have that as one of the challenges and stuff that where there people can win a cruise, but of course I haven't.
I technically won a free cruise on Royal for the number of points I played in the slot machines. But when I really sat down and figured how much of my own money did I put in to win my free cruise, I could have paid for a better room if I just booked the cruise on my own.
Yeah. Well, I've had one hand pay on land, so of course this year I've got that tax paper. But when I got the profit and loss statement from that casino, I that hand pay was nice, but it didn't near cover all the stuff I'd lost the whole year.
Right.
Yep. And the next one I had lined up was talking about balcony versus interior cabins. Is it really worth the price?
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It really depends, in all honesty. Like, let's talk location. Caribbean, for me personally, I've been to so many Caribbean ports that I could probably do an interior to get more cruises and not worry about having a balcony. If I do Alaska, I'm paying the extra money for the balcony, so I can sit on my balcony and look at that. Same thing like we're doing the British Isle cruise next year. It's the first time we've gone. I don't know what to expect other than I'm sure the waves and the water is going to be a lot rougher than our nice Caribbean waters. But being able to then sit on the balcony as we sail away, or depending on how far off shore we are when we're going to the next port, around England and Scotland and Ireland, I'm going to want a balcony to be able to sit out there and look at the land as we go by.
Absolutely. Like, for
me,
me,
first couple of years after I retired, when I was cruising heavily, I was always doing balconies, but it takes its financial toll too. So now I pretty much solely on interiors unless I win something better. Yeah. But like you said, if I were going to Alaska, you gotta have a balcony so you can see it, because that's definitely worth it. But around the Caribbean, I've been to every place so often. If I want to see what it looks like, I go stand on the deck while we're docking or something.
Yeah. And it also depends on what you're doing. If you're not going to spend a lot of time in your room and you're going to spend a lot of time out in the public spaces, meeting up with others or something then I'm not going to waste it on that. Like the Booze 4.0, I went with just an interior on the Viva.
That's the way with me. I mean, I consider my cabin to be my bedroom. I go there to change clothes and to clean up. The rest of the time, I'm out and about and mingling. So, I'm not, even when I had a balcony, I didn't spend that much time unless there was something really worthwhile to see off my balcony. Most of the time, I'm out mingling. So, you might as well take the smallest room I can and the cheapest room, because I'm not going to be there that much. So,
one of the other things I consider is how many sea days do I have? And from a vlogging standpoint, do I have any vlogging plans on the sea days? If it's going to be just, hey, I'm only going to vlog the ports and I'm going to chillax, then if I've got 4 or 5 sea days, depending on how long the cruise is, I might spring for the balcony and hang out on my balcony for like a decompress day or 2 or 3. So just a lot of moving factors, at least for us.
The last cruise I was on a couple of weeks ago, we had an interior balcony, but we spent most of the time chillaxing by the pool and either in the adult area or most of the time on the cruise, we could always get a nice big one of those like round bed type things to lounge in and stuff. So we didn't have to chase down one, and there was usually something free. So that's the most I think I've ever relaxed by the pool on a cruise ship, because if I'm by myself, I don't do that.
Right.
But if I'm with others who are, yeah, why not? So
yeah, like Dewey said, like for me, like if we're talking Alaska, it's balcony.
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking the Caribbean, I'm satisfied with interior.
Yeah.
Because I do the Caribbean all the time.
yeah.
And I still got flights to cover and all that, so it kind of lowers the expense on me.
When I was on the Helping Hands for Cruising cruise this past December, I had one of those interior studios on NCL. So that was the first time I'd had one of those. And those are small. You're not going to have a whole lot of extra room in those to do stuff in. But why? I'm not there. I was always out and about. And the few times I was entertaining, it had enough room for what we wanted. So,
yeah.
And I hear they also have their own little like buffet area.
They got a lounge. Yep.
Like
it's not much of a buffet. They'll have like fruits and rolls and stuff like that, and drinks. They got a nice coffee machine, so you can get some good coffee without having to go pay for it somewhere. And they had on that ship every afternoon they had like a solo studio get together where they had everybody get together and they played some games and all that kind of stuff as a way of helping everybody get to know each other. So
we toured the Aqua, and they had that lounge, and then they also had like the pay beer taps and wine taps, so you could tap your card, and then
I think this one had at least the beer tap. Maybe I didn't, but I wasn't ever looking to do that. So as long as they had the juices in the morning and the coffees, that's all I needed. So
yeah, it looked like a nice place to meet up, and I want to say they also had some sort of like dry erase board where people could say, hey, I'm going to do this excursion or that excursion if anybody wants to link up and blah, blah, blah.
And they covered a lot of that during the meetup every day. So it's okay. This is what's going on tomorrow. Does anybody need a partner for this, or you want to get, they'd help match people up and stuff. And it was pretty good.
Yeah. It looks like they're really the only cruise line I've seen that's really done that for singles is, a lot of the studio rooms and then the lounge. So
most meetups, they're just kind of you're on your own. You go somewhere and there's no organization to it or anything. And depending on what kind of meetup you're going for, I mean, the solo meetups, if everybody's sitting together, you don't know who's together and who isn't. And there's usually no announcement or anything like that. So
true. And the one thing I find is with Carnival, they don't really have no solo cabins.
No.
So
no, very few do.
There's very few that do have them.
Yep.
I know Virgin has some. I haven't seen them yet. And NCL.
But see, for me, I made a pledge. Basically, the moment I do Virgin, I'm getting that balcony.
Oh yeah, you got to have that.
Yes, I want that hammock.
Oh yes,
we lucked out.
It's all about the hammock.
Yeah, Melinda and I lucked out because when we went on my 50th cruise a couple of weeks ago on the Resilient Lady, we had a guaranteed interior, and we got hey, you want to bid for a better cabin? So I was like, sure. And I put in a couple of $100, like a really strong bid for an ocean view. And I put the lowest amount for a balcony, and wouldn't you know, I freaking got the balcony. So we had the hammock, and that was nice.
Yeah, those hammocks are, especially if you're like cruising with somebody. I went cruising with a friend one time, and she had the room right next to me. So we opened up our balconies. In the afternoons, we'd just both be sitting in our hammocks having cocktails and stuff. And it's like, what more can you ask for?
I know, that was nice. And Mel and I, just with that one Virgin cruise, it's like, okay, this is our favorite cruise line. In all honesty,
I love Virgin. That's
just the inclusivity of everything except for your specialty coffee, your booze, and your fancy smoothies.
Yeah.
Everything else was included. Everything was on specialty food quality. Even the little kiosks in the galley, that's their quote buffet, was better than MDR stuff on other cruise lines, specialty dining.
Yeah, and then
very
so
nice.
good to go. I mean, and their specialty dining. My God, you got so much food.
Yes,
it was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was delicious.
I shouldn't say their specialty dinings. I should just say their dining rooms.
Their dining, it's like specialty on every other line, but it's just their dining.
Exactly. And I like the fact that to me, they have the best service by far of anything I've ever experienced on land, sea, or air.
Yeah.
Everybody has such a good attitude. They're happy being there. They're paid better than most cruise lines, so they're very satisfied. They're allowed to be individuals. I mean, everybody has your basic uniform, but I mean, if you've got tattoos, jewelry, colored hair, whatever, you're not. I mean, you go to some of these ships and everybody looks like a cookie cutter of everybody else. And here, as long as you are nice to the people, they pretty much are happy. And so the staff can be who they want. They can act how they want. And they're always ready to give you what you want. If you're looking for something, they don't just say, "Oh, it's down there." They'll take you by hand and go and make sure you find it. If you look bored, they'll come up to you and help find something to do. And it's like they're just very attentive. I love it.
And I think we noticed they were very respectful as well. So you weren't getting hounded. "Oh, come in here. You can get a free pendant if you come in here. You can do this if you get it." None of that. There weren't any photographers in your face, every waking hour. You didn't have constant announcements telling you, "Oh, you got bingo, you got this, you got buy one, get one, blah, blah, blah." It was just like a really chillaxed kind of, hey, check your app. You look at the app. We'll tell you, we'll give you little notifications in the app. You can find out what you're doing in the app. Otherwise, you're on your own. We're not going to bother you. You're here to have fun and relax.
And one other thing that I kind of liked, but I also didn't like, their entertainment stuff is very sporadic. You never know where it's going to be and stuff. But if you find a group that you like, that can be a bad thing because you don't know necessarily. It's not like they're always going to be performing in this lounge at this day. So you have to keep track on the app or search the ship to find those kind of people if you really find you like them.
Definitely. And being an adult only, that first show that Melinda and I went to was Persephone, the first night. And within the first 5 minutes, we're like, wow, this is definitely geared towards adults because it's not like obscene by any measure, but it had language in there. It had suggestive themes. It was more like a Vegas style show with like just enough cursing to make it kind of funny and really adult oriented kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, it was cool to see that and be like, okay, it's wonderful. You don't have to worry about the little kids, so you can spice it up a little bit here and there. And
you can be like yourself too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's one thing I like there. You can be whoever you want to be. There's no expectations. There's no critiques. There's no, oh, you're one of those or anything like that. I mean, it's everybody can be what they want to be and do what they want, and as long as you do it with respect, everybody's happy. So.
Yep.
And the next one is talking about sea days or port days. Which one do you guys prefer? For me,
there again, it depends on where you're cruising.
And that's what I was going. For me, it all comes down to where are you cruising.
If we're cruising in the Caribbean, I'd just assume have sea days because most port days, they're just not important enough for me to get off.
Yep.
But if I was in Alaska, there's places even though I've been there multiple times, there's places I still like to get off and do things at. So
definitely. But I'm with you. It really depends. It really depends on where you're going.
This last cruise I went on a couple of weeks ago, I think the only place we got off was Cozumel, and we went to one of the new all-inclusive places that they had there, which wasn't bad. I wouldn't spend my money to do it again. I'd rather go to Mr. Sancho's or Paradise Beach.
Right.
But and the funny thing was, the guy that I was traveling with, his whole goal, the whole trip, he wanted to make sure he had some beach time. Why we went.
Beach time? We're gonna go beach time? We're gonna go beach
He
time?
didn't even get his feet in the water because he sat there drinking the whole time and got drunk on his.
That's funny.
Oh, and he's not a big drinker. Usually by the second drink, he's like, okay, you got to watch him. He had 7.
Yeah,
or 8, something like that.
Like Sancho's is on my list, but I'm just waiting for the right time to do Sancho's.
Yeah. Sancho's is probably my favorite of all the ones I've been to.
But it's also about who are you traveling with and what are they into, what you're into.
Yeah.
So you match it because when you go to what I've heard, when you go to Sancho's versus Paradise, those are 2 different vibes.
Yes.
Of beach resorts. Even though the exact same, you're going to get different vibes.
Yeah, and then that's one thing. They have a lot of those kind of resorts there in Cozumel, and each one's got their own personality to it. So, and like you said, it just depends what you like. Some people like one over the other, over the other, over the other. Just, whatever somebody likes, that's what you go for. So we tried this out because it was new. I'd seen some good reviews on some YouTube channels about it. I don't agree with them, but it was for the amount of money that we spent. The food was good. The drinks were good. And it just wasn't. I'd like I said, I've had more fun at other resorts. So,
yeah, I can say the same thing with one of the resorts I did back in October. It was okay, but I wouldn't dive back to that resort again.
Yeah. Yeah, the only way I would go back to this one, they just opened up a water park, which was not included in our excursion ticket. And that was the main thing I wanted to go there. I can go anywhere and get free drink and food and beach time and stuff like that. I wanted to go to the water park and the pool and the lazy river and the swim up bar and all that stuff. Well, that wasn't included in the excursion. And when I got back on the ship, went to the excursion desk and I told them, I said, you guys don't make that clear on your excursion here that it does not include that. Well, in their defense, it just opened up like 2 weeks before we went. So they need to update their stuff. And I said, yeah, you need to get it updated because we booked it thinking that's what we were going to get. And we didn't. They didn't give us a refund either, but.
Or even a partial refund.
Yeah. So, and we had 5 of us, and 3 of them went there solely because me and my friend were talking about the water park. And so we all, 2 of them did use the beach time. The rest of us just kind of sat and drank.
Well, at least your transportation was covered.
Yeah. Yep. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep, and then we are diving over towards talking about big versus small ships. And once again, to me, I think it all comes down to the destinations that you're going
Sometimes, yeah. Because if you're going to, a place that doesn't take the big ships and you want to see those ports, then that's going to be important. But I prefer smaller ships. I like a more intimate atmosphere and stuff like that, but many of the big ships I've grown to like too, just because there's more to do. And so many people say, well, they're so crowded. Yeah, but I found that most of the big ships that I've been on, it may be more people on there, but it's a bigger ship, so they're spread out more. So it really, other than the first day when everybody's doing the same thing, they're all trying to get in the elevators, all trying to go to the buffet, all trying to go to the pool. The rest of the time, it's so spread out, it does not feel that crowded.
Yeah. Tell you the one I was most surprised with. I haven't sailed her yet, but just being on there doing a ship tour as a travel agent on embarkation day was the Icon. We go into the Icon of the Seas, looking at the renderings, and my wife was even the one that said, it looks like a theme park threw up on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
And we got on that ship with that idea and left with, holy shit, how did they manage? And the way that they had it set up felt like there was like nobody on the ship.
Yeah.
There were all these nooks and crannies, and the traffic flow around the high, populated areas on the public spaces. They just had it designed to where it didn't feel like you had almost 7,000 people on that ship. And that was embarkation day. But I can only imagine once everyone had made it through that mad rush, how
you get that feeling on embarkation day. That's saying a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it really was like, wow. They ended up with their neighborhoods, and because they didn't have just 2 or 3 big pools, they had like 7 smaller pools. Some in adult only areas, some in kid areas, some in multi mix. It really did. They did a very, very good job of controlling the crowd with the design of that ship.
Yeah, like I know in 28, I know I will be booking an Icon class, but I don't know what ship yet.
Right.
But I do know it's going to be an Icon class.
Mel and I want to get on one for sure.
And when I did my Booze Cruise 3.0 on Grandeur of the Seas, the one thing I made sure I got was the key. And to me, I loved the key.
The key is good if other people in your group have the key.
Yeah.
If you have it by yourself, it's kind of a waste of time, because the first time I had the key, I was the only one in our group that had it. So all the things I could do, they couldn't. So I was doing things they could do or were doing, and I really didn't take advantage of it. Now, that's my own choosing, but that's the way I do things. The next time I had the key, at least half of the people in the group had it, so we always had somebody to do it together with, and we appreciated it a whole lot more.
Yeah, I tried it actually for the first time on the Liberty of the Seas. I did a solo cruise, my first solo cruise in December of this past year. Ended up getting a free cruise for, I forgot, I did sales, and I actually happened to have a good month, and they're like, hey, if you get more than 10,000 in Expedia sales, you can get a free cruise. And I happened to get it. And I told Mel, I was like, you know what? Since I had to give back my vacation for New Year's, I still have 5 days, and it's going to be paid out at a higher tax rate unless I take it. So I did a solo cruise, and I got the key. And you're right. It's like, wow, as long as more people have it, it's nice with the Wi-Fi included, the sit-down dining room when you get on the ship, the sit-down breakfast, and hey, are you ready to get off? Okay, let me take you to the front of the line. No more, oh, I got to get to the the show 30 to 45 minutes early. So it was nice.
And one of the things I enjoyed about it when we had other people in our group that had it, they allowed other people in our group that didn't have it to take advantage of, like when we used the concierge services to help get early disembarkation or tender times or something like that. The gal that worked with us, she didn't limit it to just those of us who had the key. It was other people that we were doing things with too. They just kind of roped all in with everything, and that was nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, very nice, very nice. And then like to me, what the seller kicker was basically getting on board and getting off board. That there was a place for us to go eat. Now we don't have to go up to the Windjammer. Yeah. To me, that was a big seller.
Yeah, that was nice, and especially on my cruise, it ended up being like $25 or $30 more to get the key than just to get the Wi-Fi. And I'm like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. To get all those extra perks for an extra $30.
Oh yeah,
done. I liked also with being able to drop off your carry-on bags at the restaurant, and then I could just take my vlogging smaller satchel with me and leave my backpack sitting there, and then that got delivered to the room afterwards. So it was nice.
Like you said, Rob, it's so nice to have a place to go to eat when you get on the ship, where you're not fighting a zillion other people for place to sit and everything else. You're getting waited on hand and foot, and the food is better quality and everything else. So it was very nice to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can also see where your table is and be able to do all that too. Chances are. Not guaranteed, but chances are you will able to do that.
Yep.
So.
We even took advantage of one night we wanted to go to one of the shows, and you couldn't make a reservation online because it was supposedly sold out, or overbooked. But we just called the concierge person, and they got us right in.
Yep.
So that's a good advantage to have.
Exactly. And of course, Nightbot, well, not Nightbot, but the next promo is just talk about Justin's birthday. If you need help, give me a shout, and I can help you get it onto his 40th birthday cruise. Now we're diving into talk about the drinks. The good old drinks. Drink package, yes or no? We're gonna start
Yet again, it depends. If I'm on Royal, no, because I'm Diamond and I get 4 drinks a day. And honestly, that's enough. Now,
and if you play in the casino, you get free drinks in there.
Yeah,
I'm not that big of a drinker, so.
For me, though, I'll still get the refreshment package because Mel and I love our specialty coffee. And so we can get the specialty coffee with that and the bottled water. We become, bottled water snobs with our Aquapana and all of that stuff. So we'll get the refreshment package, but the booze package, no, I don't. Not on Royal anymore do I get it. If I'm going with a group, though, and the goal isn't to get verschnookled, but to have a really good time, then yes. Like on Booze 4.0, I went ahead and got the free at sea to get the drinks on Norwegian because it wasn't that much more expensive. And when I'm doing the British Isle cruise, the Princess Plus package wasn't too much more than regular. And again, that gets us our specialty coffee. So we'll do like a refreshment package at the minimum on most cruise lines we go on just for the coffee.
On Royal, I've done the soda package because I'll drink more sodas during the day than I will alcohol.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of those cups that you can use at the machines.
Yeah, the freestyle ones. Yeah.
And once you've used them, then the chip it records that and stuff. But if you take them on a ship that doesn't have the freestyle machine, you can still go up to a bar and use that and get free refills all you want.
Yeah,
because they don't know the difference.
Yeah. Now the other thing that I might consider is if we're doing private islands that take the drink package. So like with Royal, if I'm doing one that stops at Coco Cay and, heaven forbid if you get lucky enough and they get Labadee up and running again and you're doing Coco Cay and Labadee, which we had happen on one of our cruises, then yes, I'm going to get the drink package and drink Coco Locos and Labadoozies all day long with that drink package. But yeah, it like I said, it really depends on what the goal is. Like we did Alaska, and the goal for Alaska wasn't to drink and get sloppy. It was to enjoy nature, do the excursions, and I can't do that if I'm in a constant buzz the whole time and feeling terrible.
And I just can't drink like I used to anymore because my heart just doesn't like it. So if I get the package, of course, there's always that challenge. You got to drink it because it's there.
I got it.
Yeah, I do it.
And the best I did drink 17 in one day one time.
Woo.
And that's 2 over the max, but that's only because I was with somebody who hadn't used up all of his, so he gave me his last 2. But that's been a while too, so I can't do that anymore.
Well, what it also comes down to is basically, are you traveling alone or are you traveling with someone else? And if traveling with someone else, are they a drinker?
Yeah.
Because if they are over that magical number of 21,
they're going to get it.
If you get it, they got to get it too if they're in the same cabin.
Yeah, that I can understand why they do that, but I just don't like it for that reason. Because if I'm traveling with somebody who doesn't mind having a drink, I shouldn't be penalized to buy something I can't use, or they shouldn't be restricted from buying it just because I'm not the drinker.
And that's actually happened to us on a cruise or two because we have split cabins with a couple of friends where we've gotten like a 2-bedroom owner suite on a couple of cruises.
Yeah.
And they are heavy drinkers on a cruise. And it was one of those cruises. Actually, it was the Alaska cruise. And like when we did the Caribbean cruise and we did the 2-bedroom owner suite, we went ahead and got it because it was stopping at Coco Cay and stuff like that. But we were like, no, we don't want to get it for Alaska. We're not going to be spending a ton of time drinking on the ship. We've got 13 to 15 hour time in ports most of the days and only 2 sea days. So
yeah. And that's an important thing for people to think about when they get the drink package. If you don't have that much time on the ship, you're not going to get your money's worth out of it unless you just really chug it and pound it down all the time you are on ship. Because like I said, if you're in port for many hours, by the time you get to ship, you've probably been drinking already in port. You're not going to be up to drinking 15 drinks from dinner time till bedtime.
Yeah, definitely not. So, but it all depends. So,
most people anyway.
Yeah, right. You got some people who will be able to pound it down, but I'm definitely not one of those.
Yep. I see someone else is in the chat. In the down below. So welcome on in.
Yo, what's up?
How you guys doing?
I'm getting lit.
Hey again?
I'll be getting lit. What's up with you?
Okay.
Bang. You guys are all like some old ass men. Where the old ladies at? I'm trying to clap. What's up?
Not much.
Yo, you got any friends I could fuck?
Again, you got.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh my.
Just a troll.
And that's what happens when you come in and troll me around.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to head out a bit early. I've got another ship tour tomorrow, so I got to go get my beauty sleep.
I do apologize. I do apologize for that troll rolling on in, but we quickly took care of him.
Yeah, that's right. Good job. Good job. But we did 2 Carnival ships. So today we did a tour of the Paradise. Tomorrow is Carnival Miracle. It's doing a seasonal run here in Tampa for a couple of more weeks. So
I was on the Miracle in Alaska one time, and I wasn't impressed with the ship.
Yeah, I think this will be the first time we've been on the sister ship. I want to say the Legend is the sister ship of
and I think the Magic is too.
And Magic, yeah.
The Magic I liked, but the Miracle, not so much.
Yeah.
But, so it'll be the first time we've
been in Alaska. It would have been a lousy cruise, probably.
Right. All right, guys. Well, you have a good one. Nice talking with you.
Yep, and I will see you.
Take care and enjoy your tour
very
tomorrow.
soon, Ryan.
Thank you. See ya.
Yep. So like we were talking about, it all depends upon how long you're on the ship for, and is the other person a drinker or not a drinker. So for me, basically, the drink package does not make sense. It's better to do a la carte if I want a drink.
Yeah, because you got to drink like 7 or 8 drinks just to make it break even. And to me, that I can't drink that much anymore. So, Now, granted, out of that 7 and 8, that would include specialty coffees and water and all that stuff. But I still don't want to pay that kind of price for it. So,
exactly. And the next one we're diving in towards is talking about worst travel day ever. Delays, missed ships, so on and so forth. For me, the worst was basically past January, not this January, but the previous January, when we were actually missed the ship because our second flight was delayed getting into New Orleans.
Oh my.
So we had to do a runaround to try and catch up to the ship, which was 2 days later. And I did cover that story in a previous live stream about 6-7 months ago, give or take, if not longer than that. But
yeah, that can be, especially these days now that air travel is such a screwed up mess anymore. That
Mm-hmm.
if you try to push your luck, well, you remember Gary?
Gary, yep.
Yeah. Well, they just recently went back in January, I think it was. They had a cruise. He and his family and stuff. They went and they buried his ashes at sea. Eva missed the ship. Her flight from Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale on the same day of the cruise, which they did often because there's so many flights, it got canceled. Well, by the time she got on the next flight, it got in too late for her to get on the ship. So she had to catch up with the ship in Costa Maya, which was like almost the end of the cruise. But she had to get on. She's the one who had Gary. So, and you can't reschedule the entire family because you missed the cruise. So that was a heck of an experience for her.
Wow. Yeah, but no, like that was it was an experience for us.
I've never missed a ship. And my probably my worst.
You never missed a ship.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
The closest I came to was one time in Cozumel. I thought I was getting back to the ship too late because there were two ships at our dock and the horn blew on one of them and I thought it was ours. And I wasn't even into the port yet. And come to find out it was the other ship that was leaving and ours, I still had a half an hour to get on ours. So I felt relieved, but that was the closest I've ever come to missing one. And that would have been my fault because I wasn't on an excursion. I was just on my own and took too much time. So,
yeah.
But I'm trying to think what would have been my worst cruise. Probably would have been the Magic, or not the Magic, the Miracle.
Magic.
Other than the fact we were in Alaska, we had a wonderful time in Alaska. It's just the ship was.
Night. Yep. Gotta put Maxie up before I go to bed. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about you. Yeah, like Magic, it's like Magic was a good ship, Dewey.
Oh yeah. Yep, I do like the Magic. So
because you've been on the Magic at least once that I know about.
Yeah, I've been on it twice. And I'm hopefully gonna be on it in September. So
yeah.
The first time I was on it was with Papa Mozo.
Mm-hmm. Best cruise port you've ever
met so many wonderful people in the piano bar on that ship, many of which I'm still friends with to this day and have cruised with again on other ships. So,
yep. Best cruise port you've ever been to.
That one is hard.
Yeah, it is a hard one.
Because it depends where. In the Caribbean, I really liked St. Kitts, and I don't know why. There wasn't any single activity or event or something, but when I left there, I just felt I left with such a good feeling that I knew I wanted to go back there sometime. But other than that, it would probably be Cozumel.
Yeah, Cosmo is definitely within my list. Cosmaya is good. I like Cosmaya.
I'm not a big fan of Costa Maya. I take that back. I get Grand Cayman and Costa Maya mixed up.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of Grand Cayman. Costa Maya is okay.
Yeah, Cosmaya, I don't mind. It's nice, but if it came down to one or the other, Cosmo would definitely win.
Yeah, I got friends in Cozumel now, so whenever I go there, it's like the cruise was the way to get there, but I always do other things with the people I know there. So, except this last cruise.
So even for me, this is a tough one because it also depends upon what kind of cruise is it going to be.
Yeah. So if we're in Alaska, my favorite is probably Juneau.
Yeah, I would agree, Juneau.
And
I really enjoyed Juneau.
so that's one I can't wait to go back to again. So
Yeah, and when I do my Alaska cruise, not next year, but the following year with Justin, because he really has Alaska set in mind. I want to try and make sure Juneau is in the lineup because I know he will enjoy Juneau a lot.
oh yeah, and fortunately, almost every cruise I think goes there. So
And I think I'm pretty safe because I think every cruise stops there when you're talking the word Alaska.
yeah.
So I think I'm safe. Now I can't compare on this one yet because I'm still haven't done the solo side, but I know Mr. Dewey Ski has solo cruising versus group cruising.
They both have their advantages. It depends on the size of the group. If it's a big group, no, I don't enjoy that. I don't like.
Were you part of the vloggers?
No,
No.
I purposely dropped out of that because of the size it was getting to be. There was like no way that sounded fun for me anymore, so I dropped out of it. And I don't mind a small group, 25, 30 people at the most. But any of these, I've been on cruises before where there were people in our group I didn't even know were in our group until the day we got off the ship because I noticed they had the same shirts on I did. And it's like, that's too big of a group for me.
Yeah.
I would much rather have a smaller group or just be by myself and form my own group of people I meet on the ship.
And welcome in, Michael Ann.
Hey, Michael Ann, welcome.
And she's only done group cruises with HH4C. And I would like to try a solo or one friend someday, which would be nice. I do have
the solo cruise isn't for everybody. And when I first went on my first solo cruise, I wasn't even sure I would like it because I couldn't imagine doing a trip like that by myself. It's like, yeah, why? But I needed to get away, and so I went in and did it. Oh my God! Halfway through the cruise, I knew I was hooked. This was something I was going to do a lot of. It was so nice to not have to keep track of anybody. I could do what I wanted when I wanted. Didn't have to check in with anybody. Didn't have to be concerned with anybody. And like I said, after I hit 60, I call this my selfish decade. I like living like that now. So once I got off halfway through that first solo cruise, I knew there was going to be many, many more to come.
Many more, yes. So like I plan to try one hopefully next year because all my cruising schedule is filled up this year. And I'm traveling with my mom. So see how all that plays out. But so far we are enjoying cruising together, just the two of us. It's fine. So,
and that's almost as good as solo because if it's only the two of you and not a big group. But I've got a friend that I cruise with when I get free cruises from the casino deals and stuff. And excuse me, most of the time it's just the two of us, and we always have a good time. Yet if we want to do something on our own, we can do it. It's not like we're tied at the hip and have to do whatever the other's doing. So it has its advantages, but there are things when you are cruising solo. Now, a lot of times, like with me, I've had some adventures where I went cruising solo and my mind played with me and I was in the wrong frame of mind and I didn't have as good a time as I probably should have. But that's my fault. That's nobody. I can't blame anybody else on it. So most of the time, I'm perfectly content to be solo and build up my little clique of people while I'm on the ship. So,
yeah. And then we dive into the nitty-gritty questions. Let's start talking about Wi-Fi at sea. Finally worth it. And to me, it's hit, miss. I'm there really more to disconnect than always be on the social media.
Yeah. I used to always get the Wi-Fi package, but now that I can't afford to do it, I don't really miss it. I've got the cell service when I'm in port. If I have cell service, I can, check my mail or something if I need to. But if I don't commute, when I leave for a cruise now, I tell people I'll be gone for a week and I won't have any service until I get back. So, if they don't get a response from me, that's fine. And even if I do have service, that doesn't necessarily mean I have to respond. And I like that sometimes.
And Michael Ann says, no plans till 28 now. Well, give me a call and I can get you booked on something. We can get something planned between now and then. I can help you out.
Now, if the Wi-Fi is included, I love it, but
yeah.
But I still tell people I won't be in touch just so I don't have
to. just so they don't plan on it.
Last year, I had an MSC cruise that was really kind of surprising. I wanted to go with some friends, but I couldn't get a deal on that ship. And then, like 2 weeks before the ship set sail, they came up with a deal, and I couldn't pass it up. Free cruise, including port fees, taxes, Wi-Fi, gratuities, and drinks. The only thing I had to do was pay $400 deposit, and I got that back in the casino. So it's like, well, $400, I would have spent that much in the casino anyway. So it was a hell of a deal I couldn't pass up.
Yep. And Michael Lynn, I agree with it. I go to disconnect. I check with family before I leave for port. Chat just jumped on me for a quick second. And check in when I get back to port. Yeah, just connect.
And I now that I have gotten to that point, I wish more people would do that, because it's so kind of depressing to be on a cruise and see so many people constantly on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're reading, that's one thing, but if you're, reading a book or something like that on your phone, that's fine. But most people, you can tell they're chatting, they're doing whatever and stuff. They're doing everything but what they should be doing on a cruise.
Yeah, and finally, are cruises getting too expensive?
The cruises, no. But everything else they charge you for on the cruises is. Because everybody talks about how, the price they have of their cruise and all that stuff. But what they don't tell you is, the port fees and tax. Wi-Fi often will cost you more than your cruise does.
Mm-hmm.
All of these other things they charge you for. And that's where they get you now. I wish you would turn it completely around and just make one lump sum that included all of the stuff that should be standard, like drinks, gratuities, Wi-Fi, all of that stuff, and just like Virgin does. They don't include drinks, but they include everything else.
Yeah, because you've done Australia before, or you haven't done it yet?
Done what?
Australia.
No.
Yeah. So I just got back from doing Australia in February, and
lucky.
The gratuities are built into the price of the cruise, which I wish we could do that over here in North America.
Oh yeah.
Because my mom was keep asking, like, what were the gratuities? It's like, they're built in. You're good. It's done already. Yeah, now, if you want to do more, we can do more, but it's already taken care of.
The cruise I was just on recently, one of the first things I did is go in and have them remove those automatic gratuities from my bill, and which made me feel bad because I don't like being a cheapskate, but I couldn't afford it, and I had my debit card because I don't have any more credit cards anymore. I had it on there, so I knew they were going to constantly be hitting my checking account. And my checking account couldn't handle that. So I had to go ahead and turn it off, or else I wouldn't be able to get off the ship with anything else that I bought, which wasn't very much. But if I hadn't won in the casino, I'd probably still be on the ship doing dishes.
And Michael Lane is saying, I use my phone to record.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
And then I did like the NCL more at sea or free at sea. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a decent program.
It's nice, but you are also technically paying for it. So you gotta weigh out the pros and cons. Are you going to be getting the value out of it than if you bought it at the a la carte versus the package price?
Yeah.
So what do the numbers look like when you start doing all that mathematics? So I don't find cruises are getting too expensive. It's all those extra add-ons that you do, like the drink package and the internet and all that fun jazz.
Well, even a lot of the cruises, when you get offers like for the casino or something, and they offer you all these free cruises or reduced price cruises, but yeah, you still have to pay for all that other stuff. They're not giving you any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I get people all the time saying, well, why don't you go on the Carnival cruise? Don't you get offers for them? So yeah, I get offers for cheaper free cruises, but I still got to pay the port fees, the drinks, the Wi-Fi, everything else that, I might spend on there. And that's what I can't afford.
Yep. And to me, like, maybe one day I might try and book the cheapest cruise I possibly can. And whatever I get, that's what I get.
Speaking of which, basically the cheapest cruise you can book is the Margaritaville, the Paradise at Sea, the bad one. But they recently, I guess, remodeled it, and I saw some pretty good reviews on it, so I may have to give that one a try again. The one that goes out of West Palm here.
Correct.
Like I got an offer for the other one out of Tampa, but I still had to come up with some money to do that one, and right now, currently, I can't even afford to pee yet on cruise. So,
yeah, but what one day I may try, and when I talk the absolute cheapest, I'm talking the cheapest flight, the cheapest cruise, the cheapest everything.
Cheap for me and cheap for you is two different things.
Exactly.
Because I live here, I don't have to worry about all that extra transportation stuff.
You don't have to worry about all that extra travel stuff. Where I gotta worry about that travel stuff. Try and make it the cheapest possible, but still enjoyable. That is the key thing. You want it to be enjoyable.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you get on the ship and you're spending the whole time worrying about how you're going to pay the bill, that's not a fun way to have a vacation.
Nope. Mm-mm. It's not worth it one bit at all. Because if you're worried about that, then you're not enjoying your time, and you should be really relaxing and having fun.
Yeah.
Because you're at home worrying about everything else. And in most people's cases, you're still working. So you're going to work every day trying to, as we call, bust the grind and make the money so you can do it again.
Yeah.
As some people will say. And Michael Lane has talked about the flights from here are the expensive part, even if I get a cheap cruise. Exactly.
How close are you to where Michael Ann lives?
I wouldn't.
Are you on the same side of the country?
Oh yeah. We're both in the same province, so I would say we're about 3-4 hours apart.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
I thought you were on that side of the country, but I couldn't remember for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm about 3-4 hours away from her. I know from V, I'm call me V. I'm about an hour away from her. Yeah, Michael Lane is more up towards like the Detroit border area.
That helps, I'm sure.
Michael Lane is saying it's about 3 hours. So
Larry on the other end of the country, he can get some pretty decent priced cruise because he's been pricing. He's coming here in September, and he's been pricing flights already, and he can get some pretty decent flights from where he's at over in British Columbia. So.
Yeah, well, he just has to cross over into the States, and he can get them for pretty dirt cheap. If he leaves from Vancouver, it'll be a little bit more,
and that's where he's looking to leave from. But even those flights have been pretty reasonable. So,
but even those flights are fairly reasonable. But it's hit and miss, and just gotta go with the flow.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna start wrapping it on up, and I'm not sure if I'm going live again tomorrow or not, but I will know later on sometime tomorrow. But if it is, it'll probably be around the 2:00 Eastern hour. But if not, for sure, I will be going live again next week with this guy over here, as we are having our very first live stream on the topic of the LGBTQ2 plus travel and cruise segment, where we're talking real talk travel and stories. Join us live and be part of the conversation.
I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun.
It should definitely be a very fun experience.
That'll be another day. I'll be happy to stay awake because I got to drive up to Port Canaveral and back that morning. So,
yes. So right now that is the plan to go live, and that will be our topic for next week on Saturday. And let's just clean up the chat. Just check where I left off. Nightbot is doing all its promotion. Talk about join us on Facebook for our Facebook group. It's advertising the shop where you can get some cruising on high seas and travel swag. And we are about only 369 away from the 2,000 goal, and hoping to reach it by May 31st. And Michael Ann is saying, I've flown out of Detroit for all 3 cruises. Yeah, for her, it's cheaper for her to go out of Detroit than all the way down here to Toronto and pay the Toronto pricing. I don't blame you. Fly out of Detroit. It's going to be a lot cheaper. And, of course, Justin's birthday cruise on Mariner of the Seas, April 3rd to the 10th of 2027. If you need help getting it booked, there's the information, and I would be more than glad to assist you to get yourself booked on that cruise or any cruise or travel. And we are at the bottom of the chat. So thank you all for coming on into tonight's live stream of the open mic. And for sure, I will see you all around the streets, the seas, and wherever travels may take us. Thank you for coming in, Dewey, and we will for sure see you next week.
And I'll try to be around tomorrow if I'm not doing anything important. So, what's the show about tomorrow?
Tomorrow, if I do go live, it will be with Cheryl and Jeremy from Cruising is Fun Anytime, as we do our trying to start back up our monthly live stream, North Meets the South.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's the differences between the North and the South of the way how we do things and stuff like that.
Well, I'll try to be there in the chat to join the party.
Yes. So I just got to reach out to her and confirm that it's still a go. And if not, then we will be back here again live on Saturday.
I'll be there.
Yeah. So thank you all once again for coming to the chat. And I do apologize for that troll dumping on in. And we quickly took care of that troll very, very quick.
Yeah, the power of being in charge.
Power of being in charge. So thank you all for coming in once again, and I'll see you on the high seas or wherever travels may take us. Until then, bye for now.
Good night, everybody.
Nope. That's not what I want. Stay and live stream. And live stream. It's up there. I don't want to leave the studio yet.